Today on 21st of August 2025, this lecture is on the invitation that I'm sending to 20 girls of this world who might be interested in exploring the idea of living in with me. Now, what does that mean? What does living in with me mean? And why 20? That I'm going to explain in this lecture, but first let me specify that what it is not. What it is not is it is not a harem, it is not a cult, it is not something illegal, it is not a polygamous community, it is not a poly or bi-curious friendship circle or anything like that, or anything that can be understood or defined from the perspective of who is having sex with whom and who is not having sex at all, or who had sex last when, or how often one does have sex. So it is not for the people, for the women who look at this world from that perspective. Then whatever it is, in simple words, what it is not a sex community, it is not a harem, it is not a poly community, it is not a friendship, friends with benefits circle, it is not something illegal at all, or it is not a sexual adventurous community. What it is, whatever it is that I'm going to explain here. So it is basically a family that is based on the self expression, self fulfillment, self protection, self analysis, self evolution, self care, self communication, including the world. The world comes, it is basically 5C model, 5 consciousness model. So, health consciousness, wealth consciousness, spiritual consciousness, communication consciousness, and political consciousness. So, in political, we have other people, and in communication, we have other people, but we primarily have ourselves only. So, I invite 20 girls from this world uh, who might be willing to explore this idea of living in with me, with the objective, with the purpose of self improvement, self protection, self care, self analysis, self growth. So, this is the meaning of living in with me. Now, again, question will come, who is going to have sex with whom? So, please understand, if one thing is specified to the outside world, basically, this concept is an attempt to create a division between people of the society, of the outside world, and ourselves. Ourselves means selves, ourselves. So if we look at the world, people in the world, they are not self-centered. They are media centered, they are narrative centered, they are neuroplasticity centered, they are social media centered, they are political propaganda centered, they are food centered, they are money centered, they are whatever centered, but they are not centered at their self. They are not centered at their self creativity, self analysis, self protection, self love, self care, self expression, self priorities. That's why health consciousness means being conscious over of the health of the self, and then wealth, what things we already have and how do we make more money. And then spiritual consciousness means the whole self, how I want to live, this is the way I want to speak, and this is the invitation I want to give by abiding by the social norms. I don't think I'm breaking any social norm. I don't think I'm breaking any law. So this is what I wanted to do, and this is how I wanted to dress. This is how I wanted to have this hair. So this is my self-expression, and this is the spirituality. Then comes communication consciousness. You talk to yourself, and then you talk to the world, and then the world comes. Your parents come, and then your friends come, then your spouse come, then your kids come, then the neighbors come, then your relatives come, and then in political consciousness, the world comes. So basically, I'm inviting 20 girls to begin living in with me. So you understand, the basis is not the romantic relationship, the basis is not the sex, but then why are we calling it living in? Because the label has to be there for the outside world, who can think only on the perspective, only on the benchmark of who is having sex with whom. Please understand. So this living in thing in India is legal. So my answer to people who think that what I'm doing, I'm living with 20 girls, then what am I doing? I'm telling them that legally I'm living in with these 20 girls, and everything is transparent, all the girls are free, most the common area is always under the surveillance and is always streaming. So that streaming part will come into the W2 and the communication consciousness C2, that how we are communicating with the world. We are communicating from the common area that is always streamed, from there we are making money also. So all these separate parts are there. So first, I wanted to spend some minutes on specifying this thing, that it is not a haram, it is not an illegal thing, it is not something that can be understood, defined by who is having sex with whom. But since it is legal, so this is the word living in. While I'm living with 20 girls who are focused solely on their soul, their self, their five consciousness. So what am I doing with them? To the world, to the law, to the society, I'm telling them that they are living in with me and I'm living in with them. Now they are very much conscious enough, they are very much evolved, or they are already on the path of this evolution, that they do not care. I mean, they do care, and they are, of course, mindful about it, and they also want to make sure that all these things are regulated. That who is having sex with whom, please understand, who is having sex with whom, and whoever is having sex with whoever, this thing is not being coerced, this is not under some any kind of enslavement, this is not under any kind of coercion. That thing should be made sure. So who is having sex with whom, this can be, one can be mindful about it, one has to be mindful about it, one has to make sure that this thing is regulated, but this is not going to be something that will define this this family, the the character of someone in this family. Please understand. Now what defines the character is the self expression. Now what defines the character is the self expression. So in the society, do people not have any character? Most people have lost their character and they have become characterless. So in order to save our character from the outside world, from the media, from the laws, from the flexible laws, because of which criminals become criminal and then they roam around freely. So whatever is happening outside in the world, on the streets, in the market, in the economy, in the families, we have to protect ourselves. So I have done such experiments for past 9 years. I found various families, and 20 is the number that have come up. 20, the family of 20 males, family of 20 boys, family of 20 old people, family of 20 old people plus kids plus some women. So different experiments I've done. But when it comes to my own personal romantic or semi-romantic, you never know, because these words just cannot define anyone's expression. Because the fact of the matter is that in past 20 years, from 2005 to 2025, in past 20 years, I have been accepted, I have been praised and loved and pleased by 20 girls in my whole life in past 20 years. So this is the fact, that 20 girls have been with me. Now what, as an authentic and as an honest man, I would want in my life is whatever I have done, if you explore this channel, then you will find what I wanted to do in my life is what I've done in past 9 years, and whatever that could be documented is documented there. Now, when it comes to having my own family, my own romantic relationship, or any kind of relationship, again, the moment I put this word romantic, the moment I put the word sexual, that moment the expression, the sex expression I was going to say, yes, the sex expression gets lost, because you need to understand what is going on between a man and a woman. Now, understand it very carefully. What is going on between a man and a woman, and not just a man and a woman, what is going on between two humans? What is going on between two humans is entirely their personal matter. Personal does not mean secret. Personal does not mean it's secret, and it should not be told to the world, and the world should not interfere in there. It does not mean, personal does not mean the prevention of interference. Personal means it is related to this person and this person only. Whatever is there, only these people know their atomic memories. Only these people have their atomic memories and atomic emotions generated from those atomic memories. That means this matter is their personal matter. So what I'm saying is, when a man and a woman are coming close to each other, it is their personal matter, and you just cannot say that this man and this woman are roaming around with each other, they are touching each other, they are hugging each other. That means they are certainly having sex with each other. Maybe at the age of 17, 18, 19, 20, that you may say, but at the age when at 38, and when I have been in long term relationships with 20 different females across this nation in past 20 years. So I have huge amount of experience of having sex and being with females while not having sex, having a lot of conversation with them, doing a lot of travel, a lot of activities, lot of financial adventures with them, lot of health consciousness, a lot of exercise, a lot of running, a lot of massage, a lot of meditation. Please understand. So when I'm saying that, when I'm willing to live with 20 girls, I just cannot actually define that I'm romantically entangled with this particular girl, and I am platonically connected with this particular woman, and I am sexually plus romantically also connected with this woman. No, no, I don't even have to define, because the moment I define, the moment I begin to measure it, the moment I begin to label it, it has lost its divinity. So the divinity must stay protected between the two people, between the man and the woman, and I would say woman and woman and man and man. So now what I basically mean is, if I am having, or I'm willing to have sex with this particular woman, and she is also willing to have sex with me, now it is our self protection exercise that we should be willing to know about our sexual history, and whether we are taking care of our sexual health, and are we already having sexual partners right now. So this is called mindfulness. This is called looking at that aspect of humanity with full conviction, with full authenticity, and that is, and lack of what is what makes your society inauthentic, inauthentic and dishonest and miserable and sexually suppressed and depressed and miserable and deprived, deprived, sexually depressed, sexually miserable, sexually frustrated. So if I am 18 plus and 20 18 plus women are willing to live with me, then it is my and that first woman or 17th woman, that personal relationship, that personal matter, whether I'm willing to have sex with her and she is willing to have sex with her, and is she aware that I'm having sex with W2 also. Now W1 and W2 is only for the communication representation, the way we have roll numbers, the way we have employee numbers in the organizations. So yes, the calling the women W1 and W2, that also is derogatory. But you understand, nothing matters in the life, nothing matters if you are absolutely and solely focused on the self expression, the self protection, the self care, the self analysis, the self growth, the self evolution. Please understand, if you are constantly coming back to the self, then there is no room for the jealousy, there is no room for the politics, there is no room for the corruption, there is no insecurity. Please understand, there is no disrespect, there is no margin for disrespect. There is now, very important thing I'm going to say here. If you have heard so far, now the word comes love. Please understand, this family has the basis, the four letter word LOVE, which has not even once defined in the whole history of mankind across this whole planet, including Krishna or including Jesus, including Muhammad, including any book, including any philosopher, J. Krishnamurti, even my Mahaguru Joe Dispenza and my Mahaguru Abraham Hicks, even by them it is not defined. Abraham Hicks was the closest one who said the most pleasing state of the body and mind is what love is. That is all right. That is all right. But how do we atomically execute it? Please understand. How do we atomically execute it, and how do we prove that you love me and you do not love me? The whole problem in your society is you do not love me. And how does one prove that I love you? Please understand. So I'm basically an avatar who is trying to change this world for past 9 years, and who has made some contributions, but the clock is ticking, and I'm also getting old, and I do not wish to live beyond 50. I only wish to live for next 12 years, or stretchable up to total 60 years. But I do not want to grow old, because again in India, in Hindi, we call it, जब तक जवानी है तब तक कहानी है, एक बार जवानी खत्म तो कहानी खत्म. तो मेरी कहानी, so my story, जवानी means youth. As long you only live once. So as long as I'm young, I want to live as much as I can. Please understand. As long as I'm young, I want to live as much as I can in the boundary of law and social norms. Then only I have Atma Samman, then only I have self respect, then only nobody can disrespect me, then only nobody can make me jealous, and nobody can corrupt me. And now let's come to the practicality of the word LOVE, which is understood and practiced only by one man in the history of this mankind on this whole planet, that is Hitesh Shakya. What is the practicality of this four letter word love? Practicality is love is equal to care. Now again, you do not care. There is ambiguity unless there's practicality, so it is coming. So love is equal to care is equal to attention. Now it is coming practical. So love totally ambiguous, care equally ambiguous. So love is equal to care is equal to attention is equal to 5 minute daily atomic attention. Yes, it looks very much authentic, but it is not authentic. If you make it 5 minute daily authentic interaction. Now, what is authentic interaction? Open your heart. So, what I'm saying is, has your father, has your father or your mother or your whole family have ever practiced this 5 minute daily setting and telling each and every member to open their heart and tell whatever goes on in their hearts? Has your father ever sat with you? Has your mother ever sat with you? Your brother, your sister, or whoever believes or whoever is in this assumption that they love you, or whoever your loved ones are, whoever you love, have you ever spent with them on regular basis, daily basis, not daily basis, but at least again weekly basis or monthly basis or yearly basis or once in a life? Have you ever done it with your parents, sitting for 5 minutes and telling each other, just open your heart? What pinches you every day? What pleases you every day? What are you grateful for? What do you feel lack about? In our community, in superior society, we have the whole workbook for this communication. So just think about it. In your society, people only just exist meaninglessly, just like zombies. So how long are we going to continue to live among those zombies? When will the superior world arise? So I do not see any signs of it, at least in the near future, at least in the next 12 years when I'm going to die, or let's say 22 years when I'll be 60. So that's why I need to immediately work on this commune, this neuro-gym commune. So that's why it is neuro-gym commune, because the moment 20 people gather, or the moment a man is surrounded by 20 girls, what he's going to do is have sex with her. Okay, okay, whole day sex. Then what? This is Wednesday. This is 21st of August 2025. Then what about 22nd August 2025? Again, sex with everyone. Then what about 23rd of August 2025? Yeah. Then what about September? Sex with everyone again. And then what? October, sex. So this is what the people who are self sex deprived think, but not me. Because if I recollect in 2011, when I just checked in a room with my girlfriend, she was probably 11th girlfriend, fourth girlfriend, yeah, or it doesn't matter. Uh, the moment we entered, we had sex and I was done. But next third, 3 or 4 days, I was like, no, now I don't want to have sex, because sex, these are basic fundamentals everyone know, that sex should stay where it should stay. If it is, sex should have a position. If the position is not given to the sex, then sex will spread everywhere. So that's what happens with most of the society, who does not care about their own sexual expression, their sexual needs, their sexual desires. And forget about sexual desires, yeah, there is not even love. So I was saying, word love, there is no love in your family. So if I am surrounded by, or if I am living with 20 girls, I'm going to tell them that I love you all. Please understand. If I'm living with the 20 girls in neuro gym is essential. Neuro gym is the place where every human is just himself or herself, or is an attempt to be herself, or is an attempt to be 100% of himself, while not encroaching others' expression. Neurogym is a place where person, neurogym is a religion, neurogym is a thought process, neurogym is an attitude, neurogym is the way of nature, living organically, and while letting others also live organically, naturally, in atomic actions. Tomorrow I'll be able to exercise. Tomorrow I'll be able to begin writing my book. Tomorrow never comes. So the boundary that we're creating from the outside world, the boundary that I've created from the outside world in past 9 years, in the name of superior society, in the name of superiority, and then lately neuro-gym, and now this neuro-gym, living in commune. The boundary basically is about the keywords, the definitions that they live in. They live in tomorrow. They live in hope. They live in inactions. They live in helplessness. So I do not live in helplessness. I live in atomic actions now, right now. So basically, I am seeking 20. Just 20 is a very, very small number. 20 girls from this world who care about this fact that, again, in India, in Hindi, we say, चार दिन की जिंदगी, 4 दिन की जिंदगी और चौथा दिन चल रहा है, 4 दिन की जिंदगी और आज चौथा दिन चल रहा है. So people who are not living in their expression are people who are either ignorant, of this fact that 4 दिन की जिंदगी and today is the fourth day and people are dying, people are killing each other. Still they are constantly wasting a day every day. They are constantly wasting a day every day. So a person who wastes a day every day is certainly not from my family, from my society, from my cult, from my commune, my group. I want a straight strict boundary between people who live in, who exist meaninglessly in inaction. I want boundary between people who exist meaninglessly in inaction, and people who live every day with self expression in atomic actions. Self expression in atomic action. And this is a community which has uh, proven love. There is no community, there is no family, there is no ashram, there is no world organization, or there is nothing in this world, in the history of mankind, where the love is proven. Please understand. There is no place in this world, there's, there has been no incident in this world where the love was proven. So love can be proven by spending 5 minutes with each other and telling each other to speak their heart out as much as they can. They might be having 10 things to open, but they might be opening only about 3 things, and the other person opens for 2 things, other person opens for 1 thing, and the first person again opens for next 3 or 4 things. So this attempt, this atomic attempt, this intent was supposed to be there in order to prove that your parents love you, your siblings love you, your spouse loves you, or you love your parents, but in your society nobody loves anybody. So how do we prove? How do we practice? Provenly, how do we practice that we love each other? By spending 5 minutes every day. You see, in this world, a woman in the history of mankind would never complain. क्या बोला हमने? In this world, a woman would never complain if the man must have given her 5 minutes every day and asked her to open her heart out. What about me? Have I done it? I have done it to a lot extent. And again, it is not about the woman thing. No, it is about the human thing. So I've done it with a lot and lot of extent with different humans. That's what I have done for past 9 years. I've created superior society communes of 20 people. Okay, so that included old people, kids, and their parents also. But now, when it comes to living in with 20 females, and of course, I'm still living in living again. Living does not necessarily mean living physically. I'm still in this consciousness, in this whole matrix. I'm still living with those females, but they are very far from me. Someone is in London, someone is Dubai, someone is Kolkata, someone is Mumbai, someone is Pune, someone is Delhi, someone is Bangalore, someone is Hyderabad. So in some plane, please understand, this is a whole point I'm trying to make here. At some plane, At some plane, some non-physical plane, I'm already living with those 20 girls and they're connected with me. The London girl still views my WhatsApp status. That means somewhere in her mind, and it's been 15 years now, I'm still alive. So that neuron, that connection, that vibe connection, that brain wave connection is still there. So I'm already living with 20 girls, but my physical space is empty. I still want that London girl to be here, but she cannot be here because she has to abide by all the norms of the dishonest and inauthentic society, and she is not rebellious enough. That's why I'm inviting rebellious women. And my capacity is 20. Capacity to do what? Capacity to keep them in my mental space, to give them my attention. So, uh, mouse is here. But anyway, I have explained a lot of things. So love I have explained. So 5 minutes I'm going to give to every girl on daily basis. So that equates about 200 minutes. So 2 to 3 hour basically I'm dedicating just for an explicit communication. But rest of the time also we are spending with each other. So it's not that I'm going somewhere and I'm the provider. Please understand. Now understand the two missing elements in your society which broke your society, which make people to cheat and then create a lot of conflict, and which is the sole reason, the basis of the lack of communication and the generation gap in your society, in your families, is the first thing love I told you. Second thing, uh, what was that यार भूल गया. एक तो लव, वन थिंग, दूसरी कौन सी चीज थी? या प्रोवाइडर, providing. So providing, who is providing? So as long as there is a provider in the family, the provider is going to have this upper hand, that I'm running this family, I'm fostering this family, I'm feeding this family. That means I have an upper hand. And the people who are being provided, they are always going to have this feeling that they are the slaves, or they have to conform or comply with whatever the provider says. And the provider can always create a sense of insecurity in the family members and force them to abide by him. So in order to, so that were two things. So first thing, there was always a provider. And second thing, there was no love. Why there was no love? Because there was no 5 minute daily communication and nobody was interested in that. And that means nobody was intended to love. So there was no intention of love, first thing. And there was there was one provider. So in this family, I'm not providing, please understand. So it is not that I'm inviting 20 girls from this world and I'm going to feed them. No, nobody is providing anyone. Everyone is self-sustained, self-providing, self-working. So for that, in superior society, in neuro-gym, we have created financial slabs. The very first financial slab is XKPM. So we are talking about India, XKPM rupees. So every individual should be earning X thousand per month rupees. X means the age. If you are of 20 years, then you should be making 20,000 rupees per month. However, that is first thing. And that is the first slab. And the last slab is 70 kpm ikigai. So this XKPM is AI, that means any income, and this 70 kpm is II, that means ikigai income. In between, please understand, in between XKPM AI and 70 kpm II, one can do their own journey and financial exercise, financial atomic actions and adventures and experiments. But this is the minimum thing that one should achieve, that if there is a woman who is living with me, if she's 25 years old, she has to earn 25,000 per month by any manner. That work may not be the self expression, work may not be ikigai. So that is the first slab. And the last slab is freedom. Then you are free. Then nobody can bind you, nobody can enslave you, nobody can tell you to do what you wish to do in your life, how you want to talk, how you want to walk, how you want to eat, how you want to sleep, how you want to dress, what you want to do in your life. When you have reached that level of 70 kpm, that means by doing a kind of work, just by existing, your self expression is such that when it goes out there in the economy, it brings 70,000 rupees per month effortlessly, with self expression, with joy and freedom and enjoy. So where does it come? It comes in the health consciousness and then wealth consciousness. In health consciousness, we have to take care of our five elements. Are we taking care of our land? Are we spending more and more time with the land? So land. Are we taking space? Are we exercising? Then Akash Tattva. Are we taking enough fluid? That means uh, so all these things are basic things. I am not going to give any gyan here. So it is not that I am the master, I am the teacher, and I am the guru, or I am the leader of this cult. No, I am not the leader. Everyone knows how to take care their own health, but they were not taking any actions because they were thinking someday I will do things, and that someday never comes because you are living with those people who are living in someday. So you have to begin living in with me in order to do thing today in atomic actions. You have to take the atomic action of your health consciousness, which you know. You want to exercise, you want to do surya namaskar, you want to do gym, you want to do aerobics, you want to do zumba, you want to do pranayam, you want to do hatha yoga, you want to do gymnast, you want to do swimming, you want to do whatever that woman, particularly every woman who comes and lives with me, she knows what she wants to do, what she always wanted to do, but she was not doing because she was living with inauthentic people, and she was doing zaya, zindagi zaya kar rahi thi. She was wasting a life, wasting. You need to understand life. वो जिंदगी इन हिंदी आई टेल, जिंदगी वो नहीं जो 70 साल तक चलती है, जिंदगी वो है जो पल पल हाथ से फिसलती है. तो ऐसा नहीं कि टुमारो when I will become 35 and 40 and 45 and then I will have money, then my parents will not be there, then I will have more freedom, then I will live my life. No, 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 no. Life is gone. Life is constantly going. It is 13 seconds, 14 seconds. Life is going. 16, 17. The bling bling. It is blinking. Tuck 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 tuck. Life is constantly going. Death is coming. Life is going. Leaving. Life is saying bye bye. जी लेता है यार जिंदगी में ऐसे जिंदगी. The life is just going and the life is saying you should have lived yaar. You did not live. I was there. Life was there. Life was here. You should have lived. You could have lived, but you did not live. What the hell did you do? You should have lived. You could have lived, but you did not live. Now you die. Please understand. So I'm not such stupid person. I was born with common sense. So my common sense always told me that I should not waste my time. So I never wasted 1 minute of my 38 years. I never made any friends. I always read books. I did exercise. I played music. I learned languages. Now I'm able to speak Hindi, English, Marathi, German, Spanish, Czech Republic language, Hungarian language also, Sanskrit also. I'm able to play so many. So, I mean, that's not the point what I have done in my life, but we are setting an intent here that we should create this family where self is on the priority. First, self, then the loved ones, and then maybe the world. What else I had to add? What else I had to add? So, it is not something illegal. It is not a cult. I am not the head of this family. I am not the dictator. I am just the initiator. I am just uh, hosting. I'm just taking the initiative.